comments below. I love to see who is always on my cooking channel because, you know, I like to connect with people and find out what you like and what you don't like. But today, I mean, we're talking all things fall. Who does not love pumpkin? And who is not excited to have all of the Thanksgiving treats? Let me tell you, this girl is, because I love all things dessert. And what better holidays than Thanksgiving and Christmas? I mean, yeah, you just can't pass up those desserts. But anyway, we are going to make pumpkin butter chocolate chip brownies. What? I have never made pumpkin butter before. I just got done making it because I didn't want to keep you guys live. I'm going to turn this on a while so that I can do its magic. I didn't want to keep you guys live real long. But check this out. This is pumpkin butter. And let me tell you, it is pretty darn delicious. I'm going to put this in the fridge, and I think I'm going to put it over toast. And I think I'm going to make some more cookies or something with it. These are some kind of bars or blondies, which I'm super excited about. But does this not look amazing? I mean, oh, all things fall, right? This looks pretty darn delicious. And I think I could eat it with a spoon. Now, the first step is, let me put my recipe up here. The first step is to have a fry pan melting your butter. And we're going to make brown butter. Have you ever made brown butter before? If you did, drop it in the comments below. If you don't know what brown butter is, put brown butter ? Because I feel it is a staple in my house. And let me share why. I live in the rural country of Pennsylvania, and I live amongst all the Amish community. Whenever you go to any of their buffets, any food that they cook, they always have brown butter over mashed potatoes, brown buttered noodles, sometimes brown butter over veggies. I mean, it is delicious. So I started making it many years ago, and I make brown butter for my popcorn. I put brown butter on mashed potatoes and noodles just the same. We make brown butter for our pierogies. What else do we make? Brown butter is just good in everything. And so I have done quite a bit of cookies with brown butter in it. And the only difference, and make sure that this is not going to burn, the way that you can make it, you cannot buy brown butter, super, super easy. You just put your butter in a saute pan, in a fry pan, and you're just going to stir that around as that melts, and you're going to let that do its magic and get a nice like amber color, almost like a honey. Yes, you're going to start smelling that nuttiness of the buttermilk in the butter. You're going to start seeing it turn brown and almost get crystallized, but just keep it going. Got to watch it carefully, and then immediately take it off the burner so it doesn't burn. Burnt butter is not good. So, and I have already taken, like, to clean out the leftover brown butter in a pan, just take some bread and take it in there. You don't want to waste any of that golden deliciousness. It is delicious, let me tell you. So I would love to know if you've ever made brown butter before. If not, now is your chance. But we're going to take a 9 by 13 pan. It's said to do parchment paper, but I am going to actually grease my 9 by 13 pan. I rarely use parchment paper. This is coconut oil. It does become solid when it's cold. In the summertime, it is softer, but all I take is my basting brush and get a little bit on there. And then you just go and do all of your cookie sheets, muffins, whatever you want. This way you can oil it without having to use a spray. That is toxins in that. And I'm going to put this over to the side, and we're going to stir this to get that amber color that we're looking for. Almost there. It's starting to turn a little brown. And you're starting to smell. You're starting to smell that deliciousness. I'm going to set my 9 by 13 pan to the side. I've got my oven preheating as well. And the directions say once your brown butter is brown, then you're going to add in your I'm just reading my directions here. Stir your brown butter and your brown sugar. You're going to put that together. So we're going to let this do it. And you can use salted butter and you can use unsalted butter. It really doesn't matter. They both will brown up nicely. It just depends what I use them interchangeably all the time. I never worry. If it says unsalted, I use whatever I have on hand. It really does not make a big difference. Okay, so now it's starting to brown. I can see the brown color in there. This is where you have to watch very, very carefully. And I'm going to turn my burner off because it's going to continue to cook just a little longer. Once you start seeing that brown butter in there, you're going to just be very, very careful because it can still brown at this point and you don't want to burn it. So you can see the brown, it's like the little buttermilk crystals on the bottom, they're brown. And so, oh yes, so that's a nice amber color. So we're gonna let that there. And I'm going to add in my brown sugar. So this can cool off because I gotta add some eggs to this. So we're gonna put in our brown sugar to kind of dissolve. It's 1 1/4 cups of brown sugar. This is not a diet recipe, just letting you know, because, well, sometimes you just want all the good stuff, right? And weekends are usually my cheat meals. Don't ask me how many times I cheat through the week either. Sometimes, if there's parties, you know what, you just have to cheat. But I try to be very, very good through the week and allow for extra treats through the weekend, especially on Sundays, because you have to treat yourself so that way your brain does not feel like you are letting it sit, right? We all know that feeling. All right, so we got that in there, and I'm going to add in my pumpkin butter as well. I got 1/2 cup of the pumpkin butter. This is like amazingness. I never made pumpkin butter before, but it is so delicious and gooey. Oh my goodness. So we're just going to put this in there, and we're going to stir this all together just so this can kind of incorporate before we add in the rest of our goodies. We have to let this cool a little. And I'm going to put this over into my pan so it can start cooling off, because this is the only way I'm going to get it to cool off fast enough before I put in my eggs. All right, so there we go. Clean that all out. Every drop that you can. Put that back over there. And we're just going to keep on stirring this just so it cools off a little. And while we do that, we're going to add in our vanilla and our cinnamon. It takes 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So we're going to take our cinnamon and put that in there. And if you're joining me, I am so excited that you are here. Comment, I can come back around and connect with you later. And 1 tablespoon vanilla. And let me see, I'm gonna grab my tablespoon. And this is a little potent vanilla. I get mine from Mexico, so I don't always put quite as much vanilla in as it calls for because it is a little stronger, okay? So we're gonna put that to the side, and that's also going to help cool down our mixture so we don't scramble our eggs. And you know what? I'm going to get a whisk and whisk it in at this point. And I think it also takes a teaspoon of baking powder, okay? So we'll do 1 teaspoon. And yes, I use the same teaspoon that I did for my cinnamon. It doesn't hurt. I forgot to bring my water over here. Always when I'm talking, my throat kind of dries out. But anyway, this smells delicious. I'm splattering all over. This smells amazing just by itself, you guys. I am so excited for these brownies, or blondies, they're called. because it has all the deliciousness in there. And I will post the recipe, put recipe in the comments below, and connect. I will always have a arsenal of recipes somewhere that if you can't find it, you can always connect with me. So we got that much done. Now we have to add in a half a teaspoon of salt. The brown or the pumpkin butter had maple syrup in there. Yeah, it is like amazing. And so we got the baking powder, cinnamon, salt. All right, we got that in there. So I am going to I'm going to temper some of these eggs just to make sure we don't scramble them. Have you ever tempered eggs? All you do is put in, like if you have something hot like that and you don't want to scramble your eggs, because you know you don't want scrambled eggs, you're just going to whisk up your eggs. And then you're just going to take some mixture, a few tablespoons of your mixture, and put that in there. I mean, look at that liquid gold. Oh, I could almost eat by the spoonful there. And then you're going to stir that in real quick so it doesn't scramble. And then this is the point where you can pour the whole mixture then back into your bowl, because it's already kind of been incorporated. I mean, look at that deliciousness. It just sticks to the spoon. It smells really delicious too. So we're gonna whisk this in. I'm gonna put this to the side. I'm gonna whisk this in so it doesn't scramble. All right. There we go. And I'm going to scrape this bowl out. Always get all your goodness out. It helps to have a good spatula that you can do that with. I'll put that to the side. And now we're going to add our flour. I did measure out my flour. It called for 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. So we're just going to whisk that in there again. At this point, you could use a hand mixer if you want. I've come this far using my whisk. I think I will just keep on using my whisk or a spatula. I rarely use a spatula. How about you? Or a whisk. How many of you use a whisk? I just do it like if I have a lot of powdery mixture at the beginning. I do not like digging out my stuff out of the whisk. How about you? It's like one of my pet peeves, I believe. Because then I have to sit there and dig all of that out. So this is like getting stiff. So now I'm just going to take my whisk. This smells heavenly, you guys. I'm going to let that there, and I'm going to just put in the rest of my flour and just mix it with my spatula. At this point, it's not going to take long to incorporate all of that flour. And then we're ready to bake this. We're going to actually put this in our 9x13 pan, top it with chocolate chips, and then we're going to sprinkle some cinnamon and sugar. And again, you can buy cinnamon and sugar, but you can easily make your own cinnamon sugar. You can actually Google it. Google is your best friend. If you want to substitute for something, you can always Google it. And that's what I did. I made my own cinnamon sugar just a moment ago. It was a 3/4. I forget. You gotta look. You gotta find that recipe. But I think it was like, I want to say a 3/4 cup of sugar to 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, I think. Don't get me wrong on that. You gotta check it out. So now we're gonna put this in our bowl. Look at that golden goodness. Oh my goodness. I could eat this just like this. I'm not a huge cookie dough fan, but this smells amazing and looks so delicious. Okay, I'm gonna dig all of this out. All right, there we go. I'll put that to the side, and we're just gonna spread this out. I mean, that was fairly easy and quick. This would make a wonderful recipe for Thanksgiving, for, you know, anytime. You can make these small bite-sized pieces. That's what I love about doing bars or cookies for the holidays, because you can make them small. especially bars like this, you can make them small bite-sized pieces, and it's going to go a lot easier, a lot further. There's a chunk of brown sugar. Take that out. And I use a small scoop for my cookies over the holidays too, just kind of stretch them too. There's all kinds of ways that you can share the love of cooking, if you love cooking and baking, which I do. And that way you can share it with the world, all right? Let me wash my hands. All right, so now we're gonna sprinkle our chocolate chips on top of this. There we go. And now we're gonna put on our cinnamon and sugar. And I just used a leftover container. I sometimes will keep some of the old spice containers for reasons like this. That way I can repurpose some of them. And then you're just gonna sprinkle this over the top, just like that. Always mark what you have in them if it's not what was in there before originally, right? You don't want garlic powder on top of your baked goods. So there we go. I mean, amazing, right? So thank you so much for being here. I hope that you're going to be able to try that yourself. And I can't wait to see how you like it. And what is one of your favorite fall desserts? Let me know. I would love to see what you love. And meanwhile, enjoy the rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.